Greetings and salutations, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Game Break. I am Charles, coming to you today with Without Within 2. Last week, we played the entirety of Without Within 1 in one episode, and got to meet Vinty, who is an aspiring calligrapher, and kinda got a few bad ends before we figured out the right route to go down. And we managed to rekindle her inspiration. Hey, look at that. That's what Inspire the Muse does. We try to rekindle inspiration in other people. It's in the game. So let's see what Without Within 2 has to offer, shall we? Let's dive right in. I stood in front of my bathroom mirror, staring at the result. Well, it was worth a shot, at least. Hey, when people kept going on and on about my eyes, I had to try something. Yes, ever since I became a YouTube celebrity, I had been following the internet's opinions about me. Latest comment, what's with those eyes? Why are her eyes closed? Do her eyes ever open? Spoilers! And so on. If people stopped saying things like that, I never would have become so conscious about it. Should have known whiteboard markers would never do the trick, though. I almost went permanent, too. I noticed that crack in the corner above my mirror. Yeah, it had been there for well over a year now, but I still felt as though the wall had cracked after seeing my ridiculous face. Oh well, time to leave the clock in another restaurant shift. Still stuck in the opening chapter of my road to calligraphy stardom. Sometimes it felt as if a troll had glued my pages shut. I locked my door before heading out. Not that I had anything worth stealing. $2.50 for that ripped sofa if anyone was interested. Haha, what's with her face? Those eyes! Time to clock in another restaurant shift after I washed off these darn markings. Oh, a new shampoo ad featuring Excellia. How I wished I could have hair as silky smooth as hers. No need to pretend you never heard of her. Even my grandma knew of Excellia, the prodigy calligrapher. I heard that in a recent calligraphy contest, Excellia's work moved one of the judges to tears. What does it mean? Oh, what does it mean? That judge murmured as she sobbed. According to rumors, she needed therapy afterwards. Just by showing her face on that ad, Excellia had probably raked in more cash than I made in a year. Excellia seemed so unreachable that sometimes I wondered if she really existed. Well, I would find out for myself soon enough. A few months ago, I received a grant to attend Excellia's upcoming show in Melbourne, Australia. About time my luck turned around. Without the grant, I would never have afforded those plane tickets. Yeah, out of college and never been on a flight before. Leave me alone. First, let me go and get this final restaurant shift out of the way. I wished I could spin the hands-on clock and make time go faster. Watch out, world. Excellia would soon meet her match. Transition time. We are transitioning to, hopefully, the restaurant or bedroom. No more checking my calendar 4 times a day, for the moment had finally arrived. Today, I would be traveling overseas for the first time. Were you expecting some gag where I woke up late and missed my plane? Sorry to disappoint, but I hardly even slept last night. Maybe I could catch up on sleep during my flight, though I heard only a chosen few possess the gift of sleeping on a plane. I can do that. I can do it very well. Also on a train. Not so much in a car. Thankfully, I've only tried that as a passenger, but you know what I'm getting at. I spent the day pacing around my living room and rolling on the bed in excitement. Pack? I did that 4 months ago when I received my grant. Anyway, for a 2-day trip, all I needed was my backpack. Heck, I already bought the express bus tickets that would take me from Melbourne Airport into the city as well. I could head to the airport nice and early, but that would make me look like a child waiting for the theme park to open. Come on, this was no holiday trip. I did this all in the name of calligraphy. A lady like me had no reason to rush. I should have rushed. After changing out of my pajamas, I left the apartment and bumped into my landlady in the hallway. I pressed my shoulder against the wall to avoid being crushed by her body. "Good morning, Miss Vinty," the landlady said. She lowered her glasses and stared at my backpack. "Where might you be off to?" "I'm heading to Australia for a couple of days." "Australia?" With a shocked tone, you might have thought I said I was flying to Mars. The landlady softened her voice as if trying to make a kid confess he had spilled the milk. "Miss Vinty, we all love holidays, but you should never resort to crime." What? Poor people had no right to go on trips? Sure, I was 2 weeks late with my last rent, but still, cut me a break. "I need to go." With a twitchy smile, I squeezed past the landlady and headed for the stairs. Jeez, she had better not call the cops on me or anything. Maybe I should have told her about that grant I got. And so I turned up at the airport 8 hours before takeoff. A timely arrival befitting of a calm lady, if you asked me. If someone offered me a job in this airport, I would gladly accept it. The staff wore uniforms grand enough for a banquet, and the aircon meant no more reeking of sweat during summer shifts. Unlike that crammed restaurant I worked in, the hallways here were wide enough to fit 1,000 Vinties. Sunlight peered in through the glass panels to my left, making the ceiling lights obsolete. Maybe I should quit my restaurant job and apply to become a flight attendant. Yes, I can imagine the passengers' reactions now. "Look, Mummy, that girl is so pretty." "Excuse me, madam. Vinty's your name, according to the pilot. A charming name outmatched only by your beauty." The smell of fried chicken snapped me from my trance. Oh, no. A man strolled towards me with a bucket of chicken wings in his hands. I recognized his face as well as that body odor. It was the guy who made fun of my calligraphy twice on the streets. "Hey, you're that calligrapher girl who thinks she's hot stuff," the man said, spitting a piece of chicken onto my face. "Good thing I've already landed for my flight," he continued. "If I have to catch the same plane as you, I'd rather swim." I wish he did swim and drown, or get eaten by sarks. Sharks, not sarks. That was a sark. Just ignore him, Vinty. We already got a crazy calligrapher dubstep remix, with original. This world has no need for a sequel. The troll kept eating his chicken as he walked off. Seriously, one day karma would make him choke on those bones. Just wait until I mastered all the secrets behind Excellia's success. This guy would crawl back and beg for a chance to kiss my cheeks. Not that I would let those greasy lips touch me. Seeing that troll again did, however, remind me of why I came here. I had devoted myself to the path of a calligrapher. That flight attendant job I dreamed about belonged in a different life. I shifted my attention to those planes docked behind the windows. Having only seen them in flight, I had no idea they were this big up close. To regular flyers, this might be nothing more than a bus ride, but for me, I might as well be boarding a spaceship. Once the crowd cleared, I pulled out my phone and snuck in a few photos. And now, the time had come for me to ride on one of these planes. My heart started to race from the anticipation. As I lined up for boarding, I checked the displays over and over to make sure I was on the right flight. Landing in the wrong country would be too tragic, even by Vinty standards. I Thought I could score a close-up view of the plane as I boarded, but a tunnel connected me directly inside. The disappointment made me pout a little. A flight attendant stood by the entrance. With a smile like that, I almost thought she was applying for a beauty pageant. The passengers in front of me showed this lady their tickets before boarding. "Good morning, miss," the staff said when my turn came. I gave a nervous nod as I showed her my ticket. The lady beamed and pointed toward the left column of seats. "Thank you for traveling with us." Let's see, row 32. Found it. The passengers around me stashed their suitcases into those cabinets located above the seats. After slinging off my backpack, I reached for my cabinet handle, but they were out of my grasp. The staff came over and helped me pack away my bag. Some kid nearby chuckled at me as he climbed onto the seat to stow away his luggage. What a cheating brat. I smiled upon confirming that my chair was positioned next to the window. A must for newbie flyers. I took my seat and gazed out the window at a van delivering gourmet food to the neighboring planes. The glass panel was smaller than I had hoped, but it would have to do. A couple packed their suitcases into my cabinet before taking the two seats next to me. I swore I caught them sneering when I snapped a photo of the window view. Cool. It must be an on-flight policy to make fun of everyone who liked planes. Sorry if I had missed the memo. The passengers started to strap on their seatbelts, so I followed suit and fastened mine as well. As we moved towards the runway, I smiled at the other planes landing from the skies. This must be how excited kids felt when they browsed toy catalogs. "Cabin crew, please be seated for takeoff." Seconds after that announcement, the plane engines began to roar. The plane jittered as it accelerated along the runway. Thankfully, it only lasted for a moment, as the wheels soon lifted off the ground and into the air. I'd always loved looking at planes as they passed overhead. Today, I got to admire the view from the other side. The cars below looked so tiny, and soon after, even the trucks had shrunk into dots. After unclipping my seatbelt, I stood up to head for the bathroom. I bumped knees with the woman beside me, and she frowned as I squirmed by. The window seat did have its bad points after all. As I shuffled towards the front of the plane, I passed several rows of seats with enough legroom to satisfy even my landlady. These must be the business class chairs, or first class, or whatever they were called. I doubted I would ever get to experience such luxury. As I passed these first class seats, I spotted a girl kneeling on the floor, stretching her arm under a chair. Her pose reminded me of a homeless person reaching for a coin in the gutter. Certainly not something I had expected to see from an upper-class snob. But then, I recognized who this person was. Aside from her tiny eyes, the girl on her knees looked exactly like Excellia. She had the same blue hair featured in those shampoo ads. Her calligrapher attire seemed to belong in a different era. This had to be Excellia without a doubt. Our plane was heading for Melbourne, so it made sense. What was with the tiny eyes, though? Maybe her eyes were actually photoshopped in those posters to look big. No need to be ashamed, Excellia. I understood the pain all too well. Did Excellia drop her glasses under that chair? She always had a pair on in those commercials. I heard some men get off on that. A couple of Excellia's bodyguards crouched beside her and tried to reach under the chair as well. Too bad their bulky arms had no hope of reaching under the seat. A small stature like mine might have a chance, though. As I approached Excellia, her guards rose and stepped forward to block my path. Relax, I only came for the glasses. I ducked under the seat, and as I had guessed, Excellia's glasses sat on the far end. My whole body managed to fit under the chair, so I crawled in and retrieved the spectacles with ease. Should I feel proud about that? Yeah, probably not. I climbed out and offered the glasses to Excellia. one of her guards snatched them from my hand instead. "There you go, boss," the guard said, handing the glasses back to Excellia. What a sucker. It was me who got them out of that mess. Oh well, I never really expected anything in return anyway. Why was I here again? Oh, right, the bathroom. There, much better. The flush sounded so strong inside the toilet. If I shifted my head too close, the force might suck me right out of the plane. Wait, why would I put my face anywhere near the bowl to begin with? I'd better return to my seat and catch up on some sleep. After washing my hands, I stepped out of the bathroom. When I walked past Excellia, she waved at me to come and sit next to her. I felt unworthy of the honor, though, to be honest, seeing her tiny eyes in real life did remind me that she too was only human. Maybe we were, in fact, on the same level after all. And then Excellia put on her glasses. Dun dun dun! Anime eyes! Oh. So much for us being on the same level. Excellia could put a bag of peanuts on her seat and it would be more worthy of the chair than I. As I took the seat next to Excellia, I could smell the scent of her perfume. It must be from that same brand she always endorsed in those ads of hers. I read in a magazine that Excellia was only a year older. How could I catch her in such a short time? I would have better luck giving up and going after that flight attendant career instead. Sorry about the guards, Excellia said. Please, give them a chance to thank you properly. Were those words meant for my ears? Oh god, Excellia just spoke to me. Her guards had taken seats on the adjacent side. That meant I had a chance for some one-on-one time. Most calligraphers could play their whole lives and never have this opportunity. If I wanted to catch Excellia, I had better observe and mimic her every action. Once Excellia put her glasses back on, the air around her seemed to sparkle. If I had brought my sunnies, I would have put them on right about now. I wonder if Excellia knew how to turn those sparkles off. If not, how did she even sleep? Did she glitter while sitting on the loo as well? Okay, digging a bit too deep there. My name's Vinty, I stammered. Sure, I know you, Excellia said. I should have expected nothing less from someone who had traveled across the globe. She must have seen my works on the streets before, but to think she would actually remember. Perhaps I had some talent after all. $5 if about the YouTube video. Excellia chuckled without opening her lips. That laugh sounded like it belonged to a villain in some cheesy horror film. You're that girl from the dubstep video on YouTube, Excellia said, her mouth hardly opening as she spoke. This must be one of her keys to being so elegant. Let me take some mental notes. At any rate, all hopes of Excellia respecting me just went flying out the window. Or flushed down the toilet, since we were on a plane. What would you like to eat? Excellia asked. It's on me. But that's against the rules. My seat is actually near the back. I gripped my armrest to lift myself up and leave. Excellia grabbed my shoulder and pressed me back down. I'm a frequent flyer, so just leave it to me. With a wink, she handed me a menu from the pouch in front of her. I would rather have returned to my seat and avoid troubling the staff. For now, I opened the menu for a flip-through. Pomodoro e olive con ricotta salata, pancetta del nascimento. I had no clue what these were. I only knew about food court meals. 2 for $5 sushi, rice with 3 choices, that kind of thing. Perhaps I should ask Excellia for a common folk translation? But that would only highlight our differences in status. I ended up pointing at a random dish from the menu instead. A flight attendant was pouring tea for a passenger. As soon as Excellia snapped her fingers, the staff spilled his drink and scurried over to us. The passenger with his pants-drenched tea yelled at the attendant, but his complaints went unnoticed. Excellia told the attendant what dishes she wanted from the menu. She pronounced those names as well as I could recite my favorite brands of instant noodles. Good thing she also ordered on my behalf to save me the embarrassment. I had already forgotten the name of my own dish. Is your friend sitting in first class? The attendant asked, no doubt suggesting I would have to pay for this meal. I opened my wallet and remembered I only brought enough cash to survive for 2 days in Melbourne. Not quite enough for a single-class meal, I bet. If I sold my wallet, plus helped these attendants wash the dishes, that might be enough to cover the cost. Excellia clapped her hands and one of the guards leapt to her attention. He handed her a silver credit card, or were they called platinum? These cards belonged to a different world from mine. Hey, I had cards too, thank you very much. Just one more stand until I scored a free water bottle from that coffee shop next door. The attendant bowed at Excellia as he accepted her card. Once he walked off, Excellia nodded at her guard and he returned to his seat. Is this really okay? I asked. I might never be able to pay you back. Excellia once again chuckled with pursed lips. Did she have spinach in her teeth or something? No need to worry. It's just pocket change. Excellia said. She probably had more money in her pocket than I did in my bank account. So you're a calligrapher as well? Excellia asked. Crazy calligrapher. I heard it. She wanted to call me crazy calligrapher. I cursed that YouTube video with my heart and soul. With a nod, I pulled out my phone and showed her a snap of my latest work. I was, sick when I made this, but, yeah. By sick, I meant I had sneezed once while I was working. Oh, Vinty, always with the excuses. My heart raced as Excellia leaned towards the new display. Her perfume could probably charm just about any man. Even got me pretty good, truth be told. Hey now. It's off to a good start, Excellia muttered before pulling back with a smile. To be fair, I never expected she would be moved to tears or anything. I took that blurry photo with my 3-year-old phone, after all. At least she had the courtesy to hold back her punch, leaving me with only a bloody nose rather than a broken one. I still had a bitter taste on my tongue, though. Indeed, Excellia boasted a more impressive portfolio, but hype must have played a part as well. If I had the same marketing power, surely I would also be noticed. Speaking of hype, Excellia could catch a cold and the news would report on it. This could be my opportunity to get a leg up, as people like to say. It felt wrong to use Excellia as a stepladder, but this might be my only chance. Do you think you could share my works on Twitter or Reddit? I asked. I've already made it big on YouTube, so I guess those 2 sites would be next. Excellia narrowed her eyes at me. Oh no. Now I had done it. She should ban me from her event for making such a shameless request. If I apologized and returned to my seat now, maybe I could still be spared from entering her blacklist? Just email me some photos, Excellia said as her smile returned. The last time I sent Excellia fan mail, she never replied, so I thought she had no time for peasants like me. Maybe she just had too much on, because in person she was sweeter than a banana split. I thanked her over and over as I attached several photos of my works into an email on my phone. Note to self to hit that send button as soon as this plane landed. The chef marched up to us with a plate in each hand. After presenting the plates to Excellia and me, he pulled the lids off. The smell of fries and potatoes wafted into my nostrils and made my mouth water. Good to know wealthy people ate chips, too. For my meal, it looked like I had ordered a sausage that coiled around to resemble dog poo. Sorry, it was just the first thing that came to mind. But really, they should have just named that dish World's Tiniest Sausage. I could never understand why rich people paid so much for these tiny servings. You're not the only one who wonders that. I wonder the exact same thing. As for Excellia, I thought she would have seafood or some other Class C dish, but it turned out she had ordered a beef burger. I found that kind of cute, actually. Excellia picked up a napkin from the plate and tied it around her neck. I was just about to use mine to blow my nose. Thank goodness I waited. I looped the napkin around my neck just as Excellia did. Fake it until you make it, as people always said. I might have just taken my first step towards stardom. Excellia started to cut her burger with a knife and fork. If I cooked her a bowl of rice, would she cut the grains one by one? Rich people simply refused to ever get their hands dirty. Determined to follow in Excellia's footsteps, I picked up my utensils. The sausage kept bouncing off my knife like a cockroach darting past a pair of slippers. I peeked at Excellia and realized I held my knife and fork the wrong way around. After shifting the knife to my right hand, I managed to slice the sausage part. As Excellia and I dined, a few people came by to snap pictures of us. It sure felt nice to be recognized. Yes, I knew these people came for Excellia. Just let me drown in my fantasy for a while. A male fan walked a little too close with that camera, and one of Excellia's guards stood up to shoo him off. Excellia usually charged money for photos and conventions, so it made sense. When Excellia finished her meal, she tapped the napkin against her lips. I copied her right away, since this too could be part of her winning formula. Thank you for treating me. Really hope I can shout you back someday, I said. Excellia waved her hands to indicate there was no need. Me shouting Excellia? Yeah, maybe to some ice cream in a convenience store. By the way, would you mind taking a picture with me? I asked, hoping I might receive better treatment than those fans from earlier. Excellia glanced towards one of her guards, who waved a hand across his neck to indicate no. In the end, all Excellia could offer me was an apologetic smile. I considered reminding Excellia to plug my work on social media, but I had already troubled her enough. So I got up in silence and returned to my seat beside that sleeping couple. After getting a taste of first class, the chairs back here felt so cramped. If I forced some of those rich snobs to sit here, the shock might cause them to have seizures. I stared out my window at the darkened sky. The sun must have gone to sleep during my time with Excellia. I sighed, feeling disappointed that I had missed the sunset, but at least I still had the sunrise to catch tomorrow morning. Without those blinking lights on the wing, I might have thought someone had painted the window black. Riding a plane did have its boring parts after all. I might as well try to sleep, but I wanted to savor every second I had on this plane. Unlike the couple next to me, I had no idea when I would get another chance to travel. Besides, I doubt I could sleep much in this small space anyway. Oh well. Let me shut my eyes and try to sneak in a nap. We're going to have to leave that there and see what shenanigans Vinty gets up to in Melbourne next week. As always, thank you for joining me. If you want to see just where Vinty started off, go back to Within One, which was just a one-off episode. And I will see you all next week for episode 2, where Vinty gets to Melbourne. In the meantime, go be creative. Go play some games. Go be inspired by others. Go inspire others. and I will see you all next week.